Hey guys, OtteMcoc here again. Welcome back. So, new content just dropped today, and we just did a run through of the Thronebreaker quest here. Um, so I just want to basically show you what I did, tell you about it, which bosses I used, and which champs I used for the bosses, and just look at the notes and give you a sweet, easy way to complete this, and also some hints for exploring it. So let's go through the quests here. So the first one is gonna be this one, 111 or whatever you want to call it. And I took this path down here with the champion, if you want to copy whatever I did. And it's the mutant path, if you want to say so. It has biohazard and then seeing red. So every time you hit the champion, you have a chance to get inflicted with a bleed. And if you hit into the block, you have a chance to inflict it with poison. And when you use a special, you convert those bleeds into furies. So basically, you can use any mutant or any immune champ. You have to be aware that they added that if you gain a debuff that you're immune to, they will be poison immune, the defenders. So just be aware of that they changed the note a little bit. Otherwise, it's the same old. I basically just used Omega Red for everything here. Just that path, and then I switched to the other one. That's harder. You can also use your Apocs. You can use your Horsemen champions. If you make a Horseman, you can use Kitty Pryde. It's also pretty good for this one. So basically, any mutant works. You can use with the edge there. Just remember to convert those bleeds into. You can also use immune champs. You just have to be aware that they go stun immune. Just so you know, it's not a hard thing, but for some it can be pretty problematic. The boss is super easy, Ronan. You can basically use anyone. If you knock him down, he takes more damage, but you can also do it without knocking him down. Remember, he has power focus, so you have to evade those special 1s and 2s. I use Doom, but you can use anyone. Just be aware of the limber. You can bring in a White Max if you have a problem not using parry. Just use White Max as a pre-fight, and then you're good to go. So fairly simple. Remember to look at the small differences in the notes, but other than that, use any mutant. Omega Red if you have him. Super cheesable for all the paths. Yeah, let's look at the second one here. Hitmonkey is the boss. I went down, but you can go wherever. The node is the Mystic node, if you want to say so. So every time you power burn, you gain Furies. I basically used a Claire Black Widow for everything here. Super easy. Remember to do the special 2s in the bleed phase. I use Suicides, so I do a full rotation through her 3 phases, and then use special 2 a lot. The node also has, if they go to 2 bars of power, they gain a bar of power, so be aware of that. But as long as you remember to power drain, if you don't use Suicides like I do, you can use Doom or other Mystic champions that do the power drain. But if you have Claire, super easy, burns through everything, super fair and square. You can also just use Hercules and just ignore the node. That's also an option. Or use another champ and just ignore the nodes. You don't even have to bring a counter for Sasquatch. I just used Claire as well, and she just knifed through him as well. The boss, I used Apoc, but you can use other champions. The hardest node for me, at least, was Encroaching Stun, so be aware of that. Besides that, not a big problem. Yeah, some physical resistance. Remember when you knock down Hitmonkey that he goes into his face where he can shake off debuffs, so just be aware of that. Other than that, and also if you knock him down, he gains some energize buffs. But you can use basically anyone, just straight up fairly simple Hitmonkey fight. Remember to evade the special 1s. That's a lot easier than taking the special 2 to the face or to the block. So keep evading the special 1s if you can. And then it's a pretty straightforward fight. Then we go to the chapter 2 here, the Corvus one. And I went through the middle here. It's the poison one, as I remember from the signs, yeah. And you can basically use any science and do it, but if you use an immune science champ, I used Red Hulk, Normal Hulk, and Scorpion. Remember to put on the pre-fight for Scorpion. But if you have a science champ that's immune, that's the easiest for sure. And then it's just a regular fight where you gain furies every time you get poisoned. They turn into a fury. If you hit into the block, then you can also gain the furies. So it doesn't matter. Just hit them no matter what. Um, this fight is a little annoying, but besides that, it's not bad at all. The buffet doesn't matter much because of all the furies you get. And also you can use Eye Bomb also, who puts on the poison so they don't regen. It's not hard at all actually if you use the science champions. Just remember, if they are immune, they gain a lot more furies, and that's better than using the non-immune. Here you have to remember two things basically on the boss. They only take 10% damage if you don't knock them down or knock him down. And then when you knock him down, he gets evasive maneuvers, so you have to be aware of him. The shield is 15 seconds when you knock them down, and for the first 8 seconds, he evades. Just be aware of if he goes to the evade mode, that if he evades and special 2s you, you're basically dead. Other than that, I use Doom, but you can use another champ. Just be aware when you knock him down that he's gonna evade for 8 seconds. If you have that in mind, just parry and hit before he evades or whatever. Then you should be good. If it's a normal Corvus fight, the other notes doesn't matter much, and you should be fairly safe out of the fight. Number 4, Ebony Maw, nice boss. And I went to the left here, and then I went down here, and it's the tech map. This is the tech one. I screwed up, used Warlock, and died on the Hulk fight, I think it was. But basically, if you use a tech or a technical edge champ, which could be an Avenger, then you gain a power burn. So when you do a full combo, if you ended on a medium, then you do a power drain, and then you gain those technical charges, and you do more attack because of the attack rating you take to the next fight. So Warlock is pretty good because of the power drain, but I actually ended up using Nimrod for all these fights. Hulk and onward, I used Nimrod because I just had the dead Warlock and I didn't want to start over, and did all the fights as well. So Nimrod is pretty good. Basically any tech, just remember to do the full combo and power drain to get the extra attack rating. But you could also just bring in a Herc team and just nuke it. Also fairly easy, and just ignore the node completely. You won't get any furies, but it doesn't give you any disadvantage either. So any champ you like using, if you have a favorite champ, you can use here. You just don't get the extra attack rating. Fairly simple. The Ebony Maw is a little annoying depending on which champions you have. I used Human Torch, which is a super easy solo. Put on the pre-fight. Remember to stay above 10 temperature so you can't miss. That way it's basically just a normal fight, because you won't miss on the critical hits. If you don't have Human Torch, use a champion you feel comfortable fighting Ebony Maw with. Just be aware you have to change your combos so you don't have a critical hit, because all the critical hits are going to miss on Ebony Maw. So just remember to alternate your combos so you don't end on medium, for instance, every time, or only do heavies or whatever. And then be aware of the power focus. I think it's easier to bait out special ones all the time and either punish that with a heavy or just punish it straight away. So Human Torch for sure. If you don't have Human Torch, whatever you normally use to fight Ebony Maw, and just be aware of alternating your combos. That's how you do that fight. 5 here, the Moon Dragon one. Here we go. I took a right here, and it's the Cosmic one. If you intercept or punish specials, then you gain power gains. So basically use whatever Cosmic champion you feel comfortable with. I used Hercules, was pretty smooth. If you're good at intercepting, you can do that. Otherwise, just punish their specials. When they've done a special, just punish it and you gain the power gain. If you have someone you use, like CTR or Corvus or whatever, that's also pretty doable. I only use Hercules for all of this. But any Cosmic you feel comfortable can do these. And if you intercept or interrupt the specials, then you do more damage. The boss, you have to be aware of one note basically, and that's one eye open. So if you deal damage to them when they're stunned, they're gonna reflect it to you. I used Namor. Namor is super easy, super cheesable for this fight. Parry and just fight like you normally do. You're gonna reflect all the damage. Remember, he has to be a high sig Namor, otherwise he's not gonna reflect all the damage. I have a sig 200 one, so that's perfect. If you intercept and you do more damage, be aware of the special 2. It's pretty crazy. She shoots a lot. Special 1, super easy. Just back away. Just be aware after the special 1, she goes to a stance. So you can't punish it right away. You have to wait a couple of seconds. And that way you can do whatever. So you can use any champ. I was going to use Hercules if I died, but I soloed it with Namor. And if you have Namor, just do whatever you normally do when you fight. Actually remember to parry, so you deal more damage back. So parry, do a big special, for instance, against her, or intercept, parry, do the special, so you do a lot of damage. And remember to only bait the special once. Special once, just back away. She's gonna do like one hit and then fly into the air. Special 2 is a lot of shooting, so try to avoid that. And then the last quest, you can see I just did this on stream, so my team is still intact. This was the team I used. I screwed up with Mole Man in one fight. I went far right. And it's the skill chapter. If you add a bleed, armor break, or physical vulnerability debuff, then you gain the tactical edge and you do more damage. Basically used Hitmonkey for all the fights, but because I screwed up on Mojo with the Mole Man, I wanted to try it out, and then I just did Hitmonkey on all the rest of the fights. Nothing special to be aware of, in my opinion. They have different ones. This one was the energy resistance path, not bad. And then I got to Adam Warlock, and I brought AA and Dr. Doom for this fight, and I ended up soloing it with AA, just parry heavy the entire fight. He's not bleed or poison immune. All you have to be aware of is his power gain that he gains 2.5% of power for power each second, and his combat power rate is reduced, and then he gains a little more power when he's inflicted with debuffs. I only saw the special 2, and I just blocked it with some shooting and dashing back. Other than that, just parry heavy, but you can also go the Mystic route, use like Dr. Doom or someone else the power drains, because he will stop gaining power when he's power drained, because that's his kit node. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, if you want, I just streamed it. I'm going to put a link in the comment section so you can see the link to the stream if you want to go see how I did it. Just fast forward through the first part where I do the side quest. Otherwise, just watch the side quest as well. I did all of the threat level 5 in that one. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any comments or questions, and let me know if you like this walkthrough. I tried to do it as simple as possible, tell you some counters. As you can see here, this is my team for the last run. I'd never used Nick Fury, but you can also use him or someone else who puts on. Also, if you have the striker that gives physical vulnerability, I can't remember if it's Valkyrie or who it is that does that. You can also just add that to skill champion and use that. So hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you tune in again, and have a great day.